Hello everyone, my name is Nancy and welcome to episode 101. Oh my goodness, we did it. We got so far, we got through the world tour, and finally I feel like a massive weight has been lifted on my shoulders. I'm so excited because I have a project I've been wanting to do for probably about a year now, and I kept not committing to it. I've been scared to start. I was like, there's other things I need to finish first, you know, I got to get things done. I no longer have to get things done. It's out. The world tour is out. So we're gonna start, I think, the most ambitious thing I've ever done. Will it get finished ever? Probably not. We'll find out. But I'm gonna show you something. Right here on this mountain, there is a single horse. You seen it? Oh, I also like a bunch of sheep. And a cow, and a sheep, and a horse, and a horse. Loads of animals. There's actually so many animals on this mountain, and I, for the longest time, have been thinking that this mountain needs to be something a little bit better than, you know, all mobs pathfinding, getting stuck place. I still remember how I found my first couple horses on this mountain. And yeah, there is a lot of animals here for some reason. I don't really know. It's forever been like this. But unfortunately, they're going to have to move out soon because our big project is going to be... Yep. Oh my goodness. I thought I had more time. It's going to be removing the mountain. No, I'm just kidding. We're going to keep the mountain and we're actually going to make it better. We're going to improve on it. We're going to improve it and we're going to build a mountain. Like a proper one. With snow and height. And you see, I've been wanting a backdrop for my screenshots for quite a while now. This mountain is visible from, well, a lot of angles right over here. If we go this way, that mountain will be visible. It really just depends on your render distance. For normal Minecraft generation, this mountain is actually not too bad. It's got a waterfall. It's got like a cool kind of underpass over thing, cliff. You know, it's got a big massive ravine running down through it. It's actually really cool. I just think we need a proper mountain. We need like a proper piece of something really impressive over in this direction so I can finally have things look super pretty from all the way over here. Now, it's going to be an interesting mountain because it's going to run directly into this water. Honestly, we're probably going to cover up all those animals and all that grass and dirt all above something really, really tall, reaching the clouds and above. And I have no idea how this is going to work out. No idea. I've never built a massive piece of terrain. I've seen my friends do it and I always thought, you know what? One day I'd like to give it a go myself. That day is today? Maybe? There's a couple things I need to get first. If you guys have seen episode 50 or 51 or somewhere around that mark, I think I mentioned that I'm not going to get a beacon till at least episode 100. And well, I think now is the time to get a beacon and to fight my first ever wither. I've actually never really fought one. I think I have with maybe like in creative just to see what it does. But not for a long time and never by myself and never while mortal. So it's definitely going to be something. Now I got lucky enough that I have got one wither skeleton skull already. I got it by accident just a few weeks ago. There was a wither skeleton blocking my portal to my mud farm. I swiped at it, it dropped the skull, and I was very annoyed because I wanted to get the advancement on camera. But now that that's happened, I can actually go ahead and grind up the other two, and hopefully, I'm just going to get some blocks, and hopefully it's not going to take me 5 centuries to get it. So let's start swiping. So while we're here trying to get wither skeleton spawns, I guess this would be a good time to quickly chat about the future of the series. Nothing dramatic, just what my plan is for the next little while. So obviously leading up to episode 100, we've been working on a lot, and I do mean a lot, of terraforming, building trees and stuff like that. And I do want to take a little bit of a break from that. I think it'd be fun to finally start working on some of our infrastructure. There's a whole bunch of farms that I'm very overdue on. Oh, that's not good. And I've been hit. Like a lot of nether farms. Oh, no luck. Having a bartering farm and a gold farm would be really handy. So that's definitely on the list. I also think it'd be really good to get a prismarine farm going. Just a whole bunch of infrastructure that is going to make my life easier. That's definitely on the list. I'm gonna swap fortresses because like nothing is spawning over here. So yeah, we're gonna be building a bit more farms. I do want to make them all pretty and aesthetic and everything like that. So that's definitely gonna be something we're gonna do as well. If you're gonna build farms, we're gonna try to make them look pretty. It really does feel like a whole new chapter for the series and for me. So, oh hello. I think I'm gonna try to make some, I guess, more challenging decisions. I'm gonna try to really push myself. I have been a lot lately, but I feel like we are overdue a little bit of experimentation and growth, and I think that's primarily going to come in terms of building styles. I want to try to evolve my building to an even further level. I feel like my building has actually really improved a lot recently, but I am still itching to do a lot more with it, so we're gonna go wild. Some of these builds probably gonna be really experimentational, but that's okay. We're gonna see what happens. You gotta make a few mistakes along the way to grow, and I am in my mistake-making era, I think. Like, getting hit with place. And in terms of other building projects and ideas I have, well, I'll announce them closer to the time if I don't change my mind. Of course, these sort of things are always on the whims of inspiration, which strikes whenever it wants to. But yeah, I hope we're all ready and seated for, I guess, the next 100 videos. It's going to be a fantastic time. I just know it. I just got the third one. There we go. 3 wither skeleton skulls. So it's time to head home and fight the wither. I have no idea how I'm meant to do this. I know people do it all sorts of different ways, the most common one being trapping it under the ender portal, but I don't want to do that. I want to do the first one as fair, I suppose, as as vanilla as I can get it. Less cheesy, maybe that's it. Plain. I want to do this plain. So the other option is to place it somewhere in the overworld. And people often do it above like a biome they don't care about, or in some mines and stuff. So if you place it in the mines, I think it's a bit easier because it can't fly away from you. I don't think that feels quite as boss fighty. And this is meant to be a boss fight. So we are going to go ahead and place the wither somewhere out in the open. If it flies up, it flies up. I've got wings. In fact, I've only got 2 pairs of wings, so if I lose them both, it's GG, it's game over. But hopefully that won't be the case. And I've got a pretty good bow. And it's not sharpness 5, but it's a pretty good sword. I did used to have better tools, but I lost them, so it is what it is. We'll bring the chest plate, although we'll probably won't use it. And you know what? Let's make a spear as well, because that sounds like a lot of fun for our first fight, is to try to spear the guy while we're flying. By the way, I definitely got very lucky there with the drops, because it didn't even take me half an hour to get the last 2 with their skeleton skulls, so that is very, very, very handy. Oh, I actually have 3 pairs of elytra. Well, that means we can be a bit risky. And I'm actually going to do the unthinkable. I know. We're going to swap out the ugly helmet. Oh, that's rough. It is rough. But we're going to take the extra protection. What is it? It does have extra protection, right? I don't know. Netherite must be better. Okay. I am a complete noob, but I think I am ready to go and see how many times I die and lose all my good gear. We're risking it for the biscuit. Now, I am going to be a bit silly and I'm going to do it over a desert. I just hope there's no lava pools, because actually, just realized, if our wither star thing drops on a cactus, that will be bad news. I might actually go ahead and just remove all cactuses first, or just quite a few. It's a small bit of desert, but I think the free sand we should hopefully get from the wither. Oh, those poor bunnies. Oh, they're not going to survive. Should I do it somewhere else? I want the free sand. Oh, I can't do it to the bunnies. Okay, let's go above in this bit. And there's no cactuses here, or cacti, really, so this should do. Let's pick a safe-ish spot to respawn. If things go terribly wrong, I'm going to be here in the side of the cliff. This is a very blast unresistant block, but nothing will go wrong. Did I have enchanted diamond spear? Can you enchant spears? Oh dear. You know what? It's fine. It's absolutely fine. Let's get extra food. Surely I'm well equipped enough for my first ever wither. I'm gonna try the splash potion of infestation. So hopefully we get some free wither roses from the silverfish. And I guess the terracotta is gonna be good for that because they're not gonna spread anywhere. I'll be honest with you guys, I am very, 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 very nervous. And I look ugly, but we're gonna do it anyways. It's gonna be fine. It's not gonna go super high up, right? Or until I can't find it. Whew. Withering heights. Here. Oh. I didn't set my spawn. I guess I didn't have my chest plate on. I did not think it was going to do that much damage from the first blast. Oh, that's a bit silly. Right. That was... this bunny's so chunky. Let's think worst case scenario. Worst case scenario, Nisa loses all her gear. What can we do about that? Well, we can just go ahead, go home, get new diamonds, get new gear. It's fine. Elytra, I've got backups. Deep breaths. I look pretty again. You know, this is fun. I can see the bus bar. Why is it so red? Is this normal? That's very cool. But is this normal? Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Right. Here is the angry skeleton wither thing. Where's my hidey hole? Got to get my hidey hole. I hope my stuff's okay. Please don't kill my wings. That'd be the worst thing to do. Don't see me. Don't see my hidey hole. Hidey hole. Grab some food. Okay. Let's run for it. Let's run for it. F3B, I see some things. I hope that's my stuff. Gotta keep running. Oh, I think we got it all. I think we're dodging and weaving perfectly. So we're fine. We are fine. Calculated. 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 And they say, them being me, that I'm bad at this game. I'm in trouble. I am in trouble. Oh, she's in trouble. I don't know why I'm singing. I'm panicking and so I am singing. Ah, look, we got a wither rose from our own corpse. That is absolutely fantastic. Shield. Tools. Oh, I missed. Okay. This might take some time. Let's get the wither a bit lower health first. Woohoo! I actually love how cool the game looks when you got a wither. I just realized I kind of need him to come down so I can actually use the potion of infestation on him. So I think I can get him to come down if I just kind of stay down here for a little while. Has that worked before? Does this guy heal, by the way? We're gonna find out. We're gonna do some limit testing together. There he is. Getting close. Oh, you know what? I don't see the oh, no. I don't think I've got the splash potion. Okay. That plan is out the window then. Is it here somewhere? Nope, I think it's just gone. Okay, I'm locking in. We've gone quite high up. I've used all my resources and the guy's healed up to full health. Okay, let's bring him down maybe. Can I still bring him down? How high up are we? We are at Y500. Okay. Very slight problem. Oh, and I've been hit. Guys, should we just get a new wither? This one doesn't seem to be working well. This one can't seem to hit me or follow me or die. We have a very slight problem here where it's stuck in the sky and I'm not good enough to kill it in the sky. But I've loaded myself into free cam, and as you can see, I'm right down, well actually you can't see at all, but I'm way down there at the floor, on the ground. I've just free cammed up to this guy and he is slowly making his way down. So I think all I need to do is just wait for him to appear and I will try it again. So I've learned a lot. I've learned that I'm probably not doing this the right way. I'm going to put my elytra away just so I don't get tempted again to fly at it. Because now I have to sit here and wait. But that's okay. You know what? Let's grab some terracotta while we're here. It's all fine. All fine. Let's make ourselves a nice little base for the wither to blow up. Okay, it took like 6 stacks, and he's here. He's here. I don't know how I'm supposed to reach this guy. Is it just bow time? Oh, it bounced off. Oh, great. Ooh. Oh dear, we do not want to go down in a cave. Although, do we? We might want to. I'm just gonna keep eating golden apples. That's what I'm gonna do because I'm out of potions and this is very good. I think I'm absolutely nailing this, honestly. Oh, I know this thing. He's like changing forms. Or he was. Is he still changing forms? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I'm doing it. I need to make sure I don't die here. Ooh. Oh, deep breath. One small step for Lucy. Wait, what's the word? One small step for Lucy. One large leap for Lucy kind. I don't think I did that quite right. If I didn't let it fly up, I think we would have absolutely smashed this first time round. And also if I didn't stand right next to it as it was spawning. It feels perfectly fitting to craft our first beacon here in the starter home. So we're gonna use this crafting table. And here we go. No transfer or anything, we just have it. It's interesting looking for sure. It's actually quite a pretty block. I can see why people use this for decorations. I'm too broke for that. So we got our beacon and now it's time to start planning out the project. I have no idea how much of this I'm going to get today, but I do have a little bit more time than normal to record an episode because I didn't do well last week. So I'm hoping we can at least get like an outline built. But we got to start with some planning for building something this crazy, like a whole mountain, freehand. Then we should do a little bit of planning before we go ahead and place thousands of blocks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put our FOE up a little bit and take a couple of screenshots. We're gonna take a couple of screenshots for planning. Maybe I'll take one right here from my perspective, and then maybe we'll take one here from the bridge kind of area. Oh gosh, the more I look at it, the more I'm like, can I pull this off? Can I make a house? No, a mountain. Can I make a mountain that big? It's not so bad when you look at it from far away, but when you put your FOV up, it really feels like it's super close by and it's going to feel really off scale. But you know what? In an emergency, if things go really, really bad, guys, we just need to build more mountains. I've decided that'll be the solution. You know, like one giant mountain here, if it's going to feel off, then we're going to have to manually build like a couple across here and then it'll feel to scale. It'll feel nice. And then think how cute this will be. This entire woods and village and city, it's all going to be by the foot of a massive mountain. I think it's going to be so cool. Time to go and draw on a screenshot. So going into this build and this drawing, the idea I had in my head was something like Mount Fuji. This is a singular mountain sort of by itself that works as a background piece. But once I drew over it in the screenshot, I started realizing that the scale was not going to quite work. So I tried a bunch of different mountains as well, different shapes, different heights. And honestly, nothing was really clicking with me. So I didn't really get anywhere. I didn't realize that having the slopes down naturally and the sort of scaling down to the mountain is going to be really, really tricky. So I just thought it might be easier to try to actually build it in the world first. Normally it's the other way around, but yeah, in the screenshot here, I, tried to make things taller, go above the clouds. Was like, is that going to help? It did not help. It just felt really unbalanced. Okay, here's the plan. We're going to go and find what is probably going to be one of the tallest points of our mountain. So we're up there somewhere. I've got 3 camp points to up for a perfect lookout, and this whole ravine is going to be covered up. And I think I'm happy if that's one of the tallest points of our mountain. So we're going to build above the clouds where the peak is going to be. And then we're going to bring it down somehow. And if that does not work and I don't have enough space, then we just move the peak out into that direction. And if I need to, I'm going to tear a bunch of this out. I've decided this mountain's here. It's just whether the peak is like this bit and then it's very steep towards the water. Although I could actually get rid of some of the water if I needed to. But no, we've got a bridge there. That'd be a bit weird. Or we move the peak over in that direction and kind of have a bit more space to play with. I think that's going to be the key to making sure this feels realistic. Oh gosh, we've not even reached the clouds yet. How many blocks is this gonna need? I'm really, really excited though. It's something I've been wanting to build for such a long time, and recently I've been trying to set myself some goals. Like a lot more goals than I used to have. In fact, I don't know if I've ever really properly had goals in my life. You have vague ideas of things you want to do, but it's always vague, and well, now I'm trying to set things that are a bit difficult. And recently I've been succeeding. Actually, one of my goals for oh my god. That has to be too tall. It doesn't feel like we're that high above the clouds though. But I guess we just want to have the top just barely skimming the clouds. One of my goals for this summer was to hit 2,000 subscribers, and we did that. And I want to say a massive, massive thank you to everybody who's tuned in for episode 100, and we reached that goal together on such a monumental number as well. It's such a big milestone that I am. This seems about right. I am beyond happy with the way everything has gone. It feels kind of like fate. It's been absolutely a pleasure to have so many people tune in and give me so much overwhelming love and support. So a big, big thank you for that. And we will be finishing the Duskwoods at some point to celebrate that milestone. But first, mountain. Of course, you got to mountain. This feels still very steep. Like, I feel like the mountain would need to go out even more, especially in this sort of edge. It curves in a weird way, which I don't really love. But, oh my goodness, we are nearly touching the seafront here. And I'm trying to think, do I want to get rid of this path and this? Like, how would... Because if you think of this as a circle, like if the mountain is perfectly circular, and you just imagine the length of this thing, that, how long it is, and use it as like a compass and draw around it, then the edges of the mountain should come out all the way here. And I'm trying to think of how I can not do that. So I could have some cliffs here maybe, where the mountain sharply cuts off. I think it's just gonna feel very unnatural though. I do think, as much as I kind of like a lot of the shape, we're gonna have to push the entire thing back quite a lot. I should have counted how many blocks out this is so I can sort of imagine a circle. If we take this line, it would go out to like there. So we're gonna want that line to end here, which means we're gonna have to go out to probably around here, where the piggy is, or even a little bit further back as our peak. That's a lot of blocks to remove, but that's okay. This is why we're doing planning. I'm so glad it's only a framework and not like real blocks I've placed down for this. I hope that explanation makes sense. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that mountains are kind of circular, right? And if you think of the peak in the center of them, I mean, the peak is not always in the center, and it's actually not going to be in the center for this build either. But if you think of the peak, I nearly broke these shears, as the center, and then think of the sort of radius that would be of a circle on the map, on the world, we are going to need that much space in all directions. So in that case, we need to build the circle of the mountain further out. So we actually have a bit of space for the slope to have a bit more of a natural, well, slope to it instead of being really sharp to drop off in time. I ran into another unexpected issue, and that is when I remove the peak of the mountain, I kind of start liking the idea of extending the mountain, making it bigger, but kind of have a flatter top or not go up as high, a bit more curved, because it's just a row of, wool floating in the air, but all of a sudden I'm like, you know what? I can see some sort of picture that my brain is painting right now where the mountain kind of goes like, boom, instead of like, weep, you know? Feel like the zoom. And it feels nice. It's less intimidating, and maybe that's the answer all along. Should we just go zoom? Before I tear this down, I'm gonna try marking it out and see if it's a lot better than the weep that we had before. This must have been the world's luckiest little accident because I really like this. I think that's just that extra bit of oomph that we need for this mountain, and as much as I wanted it to actually be touching the clouds, it doesn't make sense geographically. So what I think we'll do is we are going to stick with this sort of outline and obviously continue on to the other side, probably that bit of coast. And then I think we're just going to leave it there for now. I do kind of want a big, massive peak somewhere, but we could always build this up into a mountain range and add a second mountain right behind this one that goes up even higher above the clouds. And that way I get a little bit more space to work with. So I really like the way that this has accidentally made a really nice shape, and I think because it doesn't go as high, I should be able to slope it down to that side fairly normally, which is going to be so much fun. Okay, is this the center? Are we there? Yeah, I don't think we want to go too much higher. I think I'm ready to finish the wireframe. Wow, I did not expect progress that fast, but I've kind of just stumbled onto something I really, really like. That's really cool. I like that. I think that's all we need. I think I was trying to make it a bit more complicated than it needed to be. That's the shape of the mountain we need. Oh, I'm really, really excited. I think the other side looks pretty good as well. It actually slows down a lot faster than I thought I was going to slow it down, but I think this feels kind of natural and balanced. Up here, yeah, I like it. I really like this bit actually. The way this bit of the slope works, that is nice. I guess now I just need to do this middle side and the back. Well, we'll figure out the back when we figure out the back. we don't need to start about that. We need to just make it exist first, right? Make it exist first and then make it good after. Yeah, this works. It's a lot more steep than the other edges. That's okay. Mountains don't have to be the exact same, hallowed round, from every angle. And you know what? I think we're starting this. We're in a pretty good spot. And I'm actually going to start, I think, from a weird angle. I think I'm going to start from the top and then build my way down. Mostly just because I want to put in the snowy top and see what it looks like. I think it's going to be so much fun. And then as I build from that, I can go and add extra details like waterfalls, maybe some trees, maybe some plateaus. I don't know. I'm not going to overplan it at this stage because I just... Oh, 38 snow blocks might not do me. Can I... We might need to mix in some wool as well and use some different white blocks with that. What I really want to do is get that sort of streaky look where you can see that snow has formed and like almost like a little pattern flowing downwards. I don't know how else to explain it, so hopefully I can build it and show it to you guys. I thought that it'd be easier to start from the top, but now I feel like it would have been easier to start from the bottom. I don't really know what we're doing here. I'm trying to make the snow look kind of natural. But yeah, I don't really know what I'm doing. I've run out of calcite and I've also run out of snow, so I've just been adding white wool as kind of a placeholder, kind of not of a placeholder. It doesn't actually look that bad, but I am worried about it burning down at some point if lightning ever strikes this, which it probably would. It's a mountain. So I'm trying to think, maybe I just start from the bottom. But if I start from the bottom, we need to get some really good blocks. This is all the tuff I have. And I do want to kind of gradient it where it's a little bit darker at the bottom and a little bit lighter at the top, but not too much, as obviously if everything is deep slate down there, it's going to look really, really strange. So I'm trying to find that balance of making the top look really light coloured and making the bottom feel like it's normal. I think we might go in and replace the stone up there with like light grey concrete or andesite or like an even lighter light grey, which makes me think of that new wood type that's coming. If you haven't heard, it was announced at Minecraft Live at TwitchCon that there's a new autumn themed biome coming, an autumn forest in the autumn drop this year, so a good few months away before we can actually use that block, but I feel like that shade might actually be perfect for there. Either way, we'll figure something out in the meantime, and I think it's time to set up the beacon and do some mining, and I just wanted to get out a whole bunch of tuff and maybe some deep slate and other blocks like that, so I can start building a little bit more of this mountain. You know, I just realised I have completely forgotten to change the difficulty of the game. I was going to bump it up to hard on episode 100 and I thought I'm going to bump it up to hard before the wither fight. I still haven't done it, so it's getting done now. It's ceremonial. It's very casual switching of the difficulty, but I think it's about time we have our game on hard mode, specifically because I want a bit more of a challenge and mostly because I want the easier zombification of zombies. I didn't really know that was a thing when I started the world, otherwise it would have always been on hard. You sneaky skeleton. Alright, what better place to put a beacon than just underneath the mountain we're going to be building? I'm going to dig out a whole bunch of this terrain because one day I'd love to put a mob farm in here. I'm always out of string, and the idea of just having a general purpose mob farm sounds pretty fun to me. It's not something I've ever built. I don't quite remember how one makes a beacon, but I do know that we start off with like a 3x3, I think. So I'm just gonna work my way down and hope that does the trick. I think this is it. Why can't... Oh! Oh, there's a creeper. Oh dear. I think I've got a block above me. I think that's why it's not working. Yeah, one block. Okay, Pig, you're on the beacon, but let's try activating it to be haste and... Oh! How do I activate haste too? Oh. Make another layer. I must do. Okay. Oh, I never finished this layer. That'll be it. Haste 2. Awesome. I thought I'd get an advancement for this, but I guess not. But we are officially speedy, so it's time to find some tuff. I'm hoping there's some around here. Oh my goodness, look at this. Look how fast I can get die right now. Incredible. You know what? I don't think I can ever go back to resource gathering without this now. I've decided to just go back to placing blocks, and I think we are getting somewhere. Although I'm not certain 100% how long this is actually going to take me. It doesn't look like much from this angle, but once we step out, There it is. I mean, that's the angle you're meant to see it from, so I think that looks pretty good. I'm trying to keep in mind that, it's a project that you're gonna see from far away most of the time, so the actual kind of thought behind most of these blocks here doesn't really matter, but it still takes a surprising amount of thinking because I keep falling off just like that. But it's okay. You can take a look from down here as well. I kind of like it. I'm really curious how it'll look once, the rest of it is done. It's going to take some time, and I'm debating whether I just, oh God, I was fighting some skeletons. Whether I just push through and get like a half of it or a quarter of it done now, or if I just take it little by little every episode. I don't know. One thing I think I was doing wrong with this mountain is sticking to my guide a little bit too much. I'm kind of going around the wool wireframe and just starting a new line every time. But when I do that, if we take a look, I have these really straight lines that just go across the whole mountain. I've been trying to do a bit more of this where we have some flat walls and flat sections. So we're not just having a very striped, almost like 3D printed effect of the mountain. I really need to avoid that. But it's really hard when you're just doing it block by block and not really thinking. So I think it's going to be a process of place block and then go in and fix block. I've got an idea that will unfortunately make life a lot harder for me, but I think it needs to be done. I realized one big thing that I wasn't quite clicking with on the mountain is that it just didn't feel quite right. It would have to be a lot taller to be this stony at the top, especially when you think about how the heights of the builds work out here. It's really not that much taller than, say, the castle, which does not have snow on top of it. I do like the snow though. I think it gives it like that fake amount of height. So I don't want to get rid of it completely. But going stone for the build was probably a massive mistake. It's okay because I can kind of use it as a wireframe. But what I actually want to do is replace a good bit of that with moss and coarse dirt and all sorts of blocks like that. Because I realized one kind of inspiration I have in my head for this mountain, completely different from the original one, but one that has sort of slowly taken shape, is that this mountain, just like a lot of the other landscape I have done here, will be inspired by Scotland, where I live. So I kind of want to cover the mountain in heather. Now, if you don't know what heather is, it's like a tiny little herb flower thing that creeps all over the mountains and glens of Scotland, and when it blooms in a lovely colour of pink, purple, magenta kind of shades. And I don't have that sort of block here in Minecraft. It would honestly be the most similar to pink petals because it is a really, really short kind of flower herb thing. It's kind of mossy in a way as well. So I actually think to achieve that effect of having the entire mountain be dyed in purple, would probably spam either alliums or pink tulips, maybe? Because it does need to be a short flower. I don't know if there's anything else I could use. Which means I would need to get a flower farm set up for this as well. And not only would I not be able to mine out all the stone I need, because I wouldn't be using stone, I have to go and collect coarse dirt, and it's going to take so much longer. But I think having a purple covered mountain here, one that feels like home for me, is going to be the best way forward. I have a really good feeling about this idea, even though I know it's going to be so much harder to actually execute. So most of that stone I mined, I think it's for nothing, but that's okay. At least we still have our beacon, and I really wish, I wonder if there is a way, I really wish I could just take all these grass blocks and convert them to coarse dirt. Instead I'm going to have to go find actual dirt blocks, which I've mostly used for coarse dirt. I am going to use coarse dirt primarily because it can't spread to grass. I don't want to accidentally grass the place up. There is a lot of brown tones in the Scottish mountains. How are we on gravel? Not great either. Okay. This all of a sudden is going to turn into a very, very expensive mountain. But that's okay. And honestly, I think we could also add in colors like blue terracotta and like mix in some actual different colored blocks as well into this. But I'll still primarily use the dirt just so I can put flowers on it. So we're going to have coarse dirt at the top and sort of more mossy coarse dirt collections at the bottom of this. I'm going to just try to do a couple layers and see what I think. We can keep some of the stone at the top, but not all of it. 100% the right choice. I love this already. I don't know what kind of design I'm going to go for yet. So, on one hand, the alliums are the closest things to it, or the aliens. And how do you say that? I think it's the alliums. The lilac is a lot easier. I don't need a second farm for it. I actually think these azalea bushes, leaves, they are kind of correct in a sense as well. I mean, they're a bit more green than they need to be. But they can help in like little bits and bobs, like a little bit of them to break things up. Firefly bushes, always good. They've got that kind of dried heather look to them. And overall, mixing the moss and the coarse dirt here with some, grass and things, I think that's gonna look so good. And I do much prefer that to just having a plain stone mountain. So that's what we're gonna do. I guess this is gonna be more of a. It's still a mountain if it's tall, right? Even if it looks more like a hill. It's only the peak of it that is going to be very, very stony and spooky and snowy. Yeah, I think I'm going to need to build a farm for these alliums, so might as well just go ahead and do that now. I do have a flower forest out this way, which is not too far from me, so that is really handy. But I think the hardest part is going to be finding a spot in the flower forest where we get the right flower. There is. There's also another one just past it, so we have quite a few opportunities. Don't know if we can trust the vanilla kind of flower placement. Let's see, if we bone meal the grass here. Oh, there's an allium. Maybe we struck gold straight away. Okay, yeah, no, actually, I think this is going to work perfectly fine. There's probably better spots, but I don't care that much. I have some bone meal to spare. Remind me to decorate this place one day because we can't have an ugly farm. Okay, so I think this is going to be a fairly standard kind of flowery, pushy farm. So we're going to need some grass. And just double check. Yep, right flowers. And then let's place pistons on this side as well. Okay, moment of truth. Oh yeah. We are getting a good amount. I didn't hook up a collection system because I probably don't need one. I don't imagine I'll be running this farm that much. So I can just stand here and pick up my flowers. Being on this mountain is so overwhelming at the moment. I thought I'd give you a little peek of what it looks like up here. We have a crazy, crazy amount of different plants, primarily just the purple ones. And where I placed the terracotta, I'm trying out these little bushes and ferns. I think I prefer the ferns. It's a weird thing where you can't really see the pods from further away. I mean, you can. It sort of all blends in together into an interesting colour. I'm also trying to add terracotta in place of stone, just so we have a bit more colour and interest to the mountain. And a biggest difference I found was actually getting rid of a lot of the stone and starting to blend it in with some dripstone and like grey terracotta. It really works from afar. So if we'd fly over just to take a look at this thing, yeah, it is still very overwhelming looking at it directly as well. I'm trying to keep in mind that it's meant to be a terrain that you sort of view from down below. And I do think as you do go a little bit underneath it, start to get that like flowery mountain feel. It really does not feel like heathers, but I actually don't mind that end result. I don't know, it's something very magical about just the way it's really overgrown with flowers. And I can just see the vision of like getting rid of all this stone and bringing the flowers up even higher, right until it just hits the snow. I think we can have the kind of barrier of dripstone and terracotta and coarse dirt. And then it gets greener and greener as you go down below with the moss becoming more and more frequent. I think it's looking good. It's so expensive as a build, but all good things take time. That's what they say, right? So look at it. I don't know. I do think there's it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea as a mountain as terrain. I'm the closest to seeing the vision I've been from the start, so I'm really happy with that. And I think mixing in the lilacs and the alliums is doing a lot of work. I think just the alliums, they're a bit sparse, but having a bit of both really helps. And my biggest headache at the moment is figuring out how I'm going to light this thing up where it looks natural, but also does not mean that we have any mobs. And for now, I'm not going to think about it, but it is getting very dangerous, both down here. Oh, look at this. I didn't light up enough. And also at nighttime on here, we're getting creepers and everything as I build, so it's not great. We have still so much more to go and do as well with this terrain. I think I'm going to start a new layer right here and start building it up from the middle, I think. I can't complain with this view. No, I can't. I'm even starting to really like terracotta. Oh, I want to finish this. Like, at best, at very best, and I don't know if it'll happen, I'll only get a quarter done today. But we're probably only gonna get to the point where I can take a screenshot from that side and we don't see the Bear Mountain underneath. But I am really, really having a lot of fun building this. Now that I've got into the swing of things, and I kind of have like a little formula I follow where if I have like a lot of vertical drops, I start adding in the terracotta. And if I don't have vertical drops, I use a mixture of moss and forest dirt. And it's starting to go really well. And I just chuck in a bunch of fly legs against really tall walls like that. And then on the flatter sections, we pop in aliens, which I don't have any. So we're just going to put amethyst, which I've been slowly mixing in as well. It's getting easier, it's getting a little bit mindless. I'm going through quite a few YouTube videos as I do this. It's like a more relaxing version of working on the nether, because the nether would try to kill me, and this only sometimes tries to kill me, mostly at nighttime. It's a couple more hours later and we are getting real close to at least connecting some of the portions to the floor. It's taken a long time, a really long time. I'm trying not to think too much about how to connect everything, so it's going out kind of funky shaped. You can see there's a bit of like a valley, a little bit of a dip here that I didn't plan for, and a little bit of an extrusion over here. Like it's got loads of different shapes over it, which is kind of nice, I suppose. It works out for a fairly, I think, dynamic mountain. It looks so busy with all the flowers, but I still really like it, and I'm hoping it'll all come together. There's absolutely no way I can get more than a quarter done today, if that. And I still have no idea how we're going to terraform the bottom of it or how it'll reach, but we'll see when it gets there. I did have something interesting happen where I went into the Badlands to get some terracotta, and I got the achievement for the beacon then when I took the beacon with me and set up a new one over there. So I don't know why I didn't get it the first time round, but I got it now, so good job me. This is the spot in the build where I wish I could pick up the mountain and shift it back 10 or 20 blocks, because no matter how steep I make this side off the cliff, it feels like it will just collide with this ruin, which obviously I don't want to happen. So I'm thinking about how I can circumnavigate this, restriction breeds creativity and all that. So what can we do here? Well, I think we can do some sort of a sharp cliff edge that's almost been carved out to make space for the water. I think long term, we'd probably get rid of all of this area here with the sand and everything. We'd hollow this out and we'd probably get rid of a lot of this. So basically, we'd shift the river forward this way and then probably have most of this ruin be submerged in the river. And then maybe some of this mountain edge kind of carved away with some ancient pillars supporting it or something, or maybe like an aqueduct. Oh, that'd be kind of cool. There's ways around this, although I do think it's going to look a little bit awkward for some time before we kind of figure this out, because yeah, no matter what I do at this stage, I don't know how much I'd have to rework this cliff for it to not like go into the ruins here, the shipyard, which is a shame because I was trying my best to not make it happen, but then it's happening anyway. I've been trying to make that hill steeper and steeper, but it just starts looking odd from other angles. I've tried to rework it over there as well. So that's the original wireframe over there, move the mountain over, make it steeper. I think having one steep side is okay as long as I make the other ones quite slopey. Is that the right word? Like on a lesser incline. That's where we are. This is the underside of the mountain just now. I lit up a lot of this, but not all of it yet. Now this is quite a cool view, don't you agree? I really like this. This makes me really excited for the future of this mountain. Oh, we have a spawnable block up there apparently. This place needs so much more work. As you can see, we're still missing 3/4 of the mountain, and even this quarter is not fully finished. But there's a reason for that. So quick, let's cover what I've done before we wrap up today's video. So first thing to notice is I actually moved the mountain out quite a lot through this natural slope. So our river our original river is basically completely covered up. What we're going to do is we're going to expand the river, and I do plan on placing quite a few trees in this area as well, and some bushes and things on the mountain. There's a lot more decorations to come for this place, but I didn't want to get too crammed down in the details, so like things like waterfalls, rocks, leaves, bushes, and even maybe a building at the top. That's all gonna have to wait. Now this is going to be a cavern. It's probably going to be a bit smaller than it is, but I left plenty of space just for me to figure things out. And we'll have an entrance going into our mob farm in there at some point whenever we get around to it. So send the river out this way and then have like almost something that you would have to sail into, like a little pirate cove almost. I don't know. But hopefully you guys can see the beginning of the vision. Of course, it's going to look a lot better so once you can't see through the mountain. And I'm kind of glad the sun is setting because you get to notice how beautiful this place looks at night time. It is absolutely gorgeous. Look at all that sparkling. I don't know how well it's going to turn out on YouTube, but on my screen, this thing is made out of dreams. I absolutely love this mountain, but of course it can't stay this way. I'm going to need to light it up, especially if I want to put a mob farm in here, and also just so I stop getting creepered on it. I already blew it up once, and obviously there's just a lot of bad guys spawning on it, so not sustainable, not when I'm going to be working in this area, and they keep coming down to fight me. If you guys have any ideas for how to light it up, let me know. I think the most obvious solution would be just to put candles down. I actually have some candles over there that could light. I don't know if I want to go down that route because I would need so many candles, and I still don't have a proper spring farm. The spider farm is super slow, but we'll figure things out. So let me know if you have any ideas. I could always just hide some blocks under moss carpets and call it a day as well, or maybe we want to put like lampposts or weird little things like that. Oh, should we build the beacons of contour on there? We absolutely could. The world is our oyster, and I'm really happy with this, and I'm really happy with where I think it's going to go. Please do let me know what your thoughts are on this mountain. Is it beautiful? I sure hope so. I hope people at least see the aesthetic value, even if it's not their cup of tea. Let's ignore that there's only a quarter of it done. We'll get there. We're absolutely going to get here. Let's see it from this angle as well. See, even that looks nice. Aside from the fact that half of it's missing, even that looks nice. Oh, that really bothers me from the city gates. That's okay. We can sort something out there. We can do something. Something is going to work out for sure. I actually realized while I was editing this video that I never ended up moving the mountain back. There's like 10, 20, 30 blocks I wanted to, because I got distracted by the new shape of the mountain. So that's on me. If I moved it back originally, I think we could have avoided this whole thing. That's it for me though. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a lovely day, and I'll catch you in the next episode where we may or we may not continue working this, because I have about 500 different projects I want to work on. So who knows? See you then.